So the DOJ just dropped an absolutely wild indictment that exposes several large right-wing media figures for being paid directly by Russia to spread propaganda. And this list includes probably all the people you are immediately thinking of. The list includes people like Benny Johnson, everybody's favorite ideas man, Dave Rubin, Timothy Civil War Poole, and the apparent ringleader of it all is Lauren Chen and her husband Liam Donovan. And after reading through some of the indictment, they pretty much have them dead to rights. There's really no denying it. So the scheme basically breaks down like this. The Russians reached out to Lauren Chen, who then reached out to Benny Johnson and Tim Pool and the others. Although the Russians also talked with Tim Pool and Benny Johnson directly, but they apparently used an alias. More on that in a second. But they were able to negotiate contracts that amounted to $100,000 a YouTube video. And just to give you a little more context, this wasn't even for Tim Pool's main channel. This was for his Culture War podcast channel, which on a good episode gets about 100K views. Now, as far as Lauren Chen goes, they have her dead to rights, knowing that she was taking money from Russians to spread propaganda. In fact, they have Discord logs of her admitting as much. In one hilarious exchange, she sends them a couple messages asking when the next payment is going to arrive, and when they don't answer, she Googles, "What is the current time in Moscow?" There's another great exchange with Lauren Chen where they're talking about the video of Tucker in the Russian supermarket where he's talking about how great it is, and the Russians wanted them to post it. And in the Discord, the people are like, this video is overt shilling, and Lauren Chen is like, post it anyway. And wouldn't you know it, the video ended up on their Instagram the very next day. Now, when it comes to Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, and the others, they do have the slightest bit of plausible deniability because, at least in the recorded logs, Lauren Chen never tells them that it's Russians that are giving them all this money. They say it's some guy from Western Europe. And that is, of course, the defense that Tim is going with, that he is actually a victim in all this and that he was just duped. But you'll have to forgive me for not believing the guy who was being paid by Russia to be a propagandist, saying he didn't know it was Russians that were paying him when he's saying things like this.
Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the greatest enemies of our nation right now is Ukraine. They are expanding this war. Now, don't get me wrong, I know. You've got criminal elements of the U.S. government pushing them and guiding them and telling them what to do. Ukraine is now accused, a German warrant issued for blowing up the Nord Stream pipeline, triggering this conflict. Ukraine is the greatest threat to this nation and to the world. We should rescind all funding and financing, pull out all military support, and we should apologize to Russia.